Imagine this. You pull up to a petrol station in Harare, Zimbabwe. You need to fill your tank. You have Zimbabwean dollars, ZiG, in your wallet. But the fuel attendant shakes his head. No ZiG, only US dollars, he says. This is a common scene in Zimbabwe. Many businesses, especially fuel dealers, are hesitant to accept the ZiG. Why? Zimbabwe has a complex currency history. The country has switched currencies several times in the past 2 decades. This has left people with little trust in the local currency. The ZiG was introduced in 2019 to replace the multi-currency system. However, it has struggled to gain acceptance. The reluctance to use ZiG is causing problems. It creates confusion and inconvenience. It also hinders economic growth. Zimbabwe needs a stable and trusted currency to prosper. Currency acceptance is not just about economics, it's also about trust. People need to believe that a currency holds value and will be accepted by others. When trust is low, people hold on to foreign currencies they perceive as more stable. This can create a vicious cycle, further weakening the local currency. Economic theories explain why trust matters. Gresham's law states that bad money drives out good. If people have a choice, they will spend the weaker currency and hoard the stronger one. This is what we see in Zimbabwe. People prefer using US dollars, even for everyday transactions. The government has tried to encourage ZiG usage. They have made it the sole legal tender for local transactions. However, old habits die hard. Trust in the ZiG needs to be built over time. This requires consistent economic policies and a stable exchange rate. Zimbabwe's currency woes are not new. In the early 2000s, the country experienced hyperinflation. The Zimbabwean dollar became worthless. This led to the adoption of a multi-currency system in 2009. The US dollar became the dominant currency. The multi-currency system brought stability. However, it also created challenges. Zimbabwe had no control over its monetary policy. The country was also vulnerable to fluctuations in the US dollar. This led to the reintroduction of the Zimbabwean dollar in 2019. The return of the local currency was met with skepticism. People remembered the hyperinflation of the past. They were worried that history would repeat itself. These fears have contributed to the slow acceptance of the ZiG. The future of the ZiG is uncertain. Its success depends on several factors. The government needs to maintain economic stability. They also need to implement policies that promote trust in the currency. One key factor is inflation. If inflation remains high, people will lose faith in the ZiG. They will continue to prefer foreign currencies. The government needs to control inflation to make the ZiG more attractive. Another factor is the availability of foreign currency. If there is a shortage of US dollars, people will be forced to use ZiG. However, this could also lead to a black market for foreign currency. Building trust in the ZiG will take time and effort. The government needs to be transparent and consistent in its economic policies. They also need to engage with businesses and the public to address their concerns. One way to build trust is to promote financial inclusion. This means making it easier for people to access banking services. When people have bank accounts, they are more likely to use the local currency. Another way is to encourage the use of digital payments. This can reduce the reliance on cash and make transactions more efficient. It can also help to formalize the economy and increase tax revenue. Zimbabwe's currency journey has been a roller coaster ride. The country has faced many challenges, from hyperinflation to currency switches. The introduction of the ZiG was a step towards regaining monetary sovereignty. However, it has also created new challenges. The reluctance of fuel dealers and other businesses to accept ZiG highlights the issue of trust. Building trust in a currency takes time and consistent effort. Zimbabwe's economic future depends on its ability to create a stable and trusted currency.